Hello, world. Welcome to our show, JW Raw with M&M, coming to you live from the world-famous Jackson Week MMA Academy in Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA. Yes, we are in USA, Albuquerque. This is Mark, and I'd like to give a shout-out to our awesome partners that help us keep the show on the air and keep bringing you some interesting guests from different walks of life. Our fighters and athletes are constantly on the lookout for products that will provide a legal performance edge. Legal performance edge, yes. A couple years back, we came across a nutraceutical company that has an incredible technology. Since then, many of the fighters who train at Jackson Wink MMA Academy have been using their products with astounding success. Unlike most sports performance companies, this company began selling their products through doctors. Their unique technologies help the body heal and maintain exceptional health. For this reason, their products are recommended by doctors worldwide. Yes, worldwide. So how does this translate to sports performance? The truth is, you will never be stronger than you are healthy. How many times have we heard of star athletes who miss a big competition because they're out sick? The same technology that is used to boost the immune system and to detoxify, nourish, and rejuvenate the body is the same technology that boosts strength, endurance, and even cuts unwanted body fat, because we don't want to get fat. We are pumped to finally let you know about our best-kept secret here at Jackson Wink MMA Academy. The company is called RNA Sport. You can find them online at rnasport.com. Again, rnasport.com. Look them up. RNA Sport creates incredible sports performance formulas for elite athletes. Our fighters use and love these products. One of the most important things to know about RNA Sport formulas is their ease of use. It's very easy to use, yes. No more messy powders or hard-to-swallow pills. RNA Sport formulas are delivered directly into the body in a simple-to-take, great-tasting sprays. With high absorption, RNA Sport formulas can be taken immediately before a workout or competition with no lag time. RNA Sport formulas support increased strength and endurance, reduced joint and muscle fatigue, improved recovery, a healthy immune system, optimized metabolism, and a whole lot more. RNA Sport provides benefits and technology unlike any performance products you have ever experienced. I highly recommend you to check out rnasport.com and use their products. They will take your performance to the next level. In our next podcast, we will review the amazing benefits of their specific formulas. JW Raw is happy to also have Fireteam Fit as a longtime sponsor. They are a veteran-owned fitness company that is now partnered with the greatest gym in the world, Jackson Wink MMA Academy. Fireteam Fit is giving a special offer of 15% off. That is right, 15% off all their products, all of them. Go check it out, all their products. All you have to do is enter a code. The secret code is JWRAW015. Again, JW Raw, just like the show, 015. Enter that secret code. You're going to get 15% off everything you buy. Make sure you do that at checkout, and then you'll get that discount. We love having Fireteam Fit as a sponsor since they are family and veteran-owned. That is so cool. We love our veterans. We love our family. Both in one big, happy group. We're happy to have them. It's available on both fireteamfit.com and on amazon.com. Everyone knows how to find Amazon. If you're on Amazon, you're legit. You can go find them on Amazon or check out their website, fireteamfit.com. But don't forget to enter that coupon code. Remember, use JWRAW015.
You're listening to JW Raw with M&M.
We are live.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show, Clay Matz. Is it Matza? Matza? How do you say it? Matza.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Clay.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on?
So this is your first time on the show. You've been part of the team for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a couple years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
You first lived in the apartments that we had here, and then
When
how
you-
long you stayed there? For a year?
What
2
are you
years?
Well, so I was in the dorms for a year, and then I went to the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And then I moved out.
So you
So
lived at the facility for like 2 years then, yeah? Something
like,
that.
a year and a half, I think, and then I've
Okay.
been out for about a year.
Sweet. Man, you was always on point, man. You like Always paying on time. I know that.
Yeah.
We should
Never problem. No problem. No problem.
get that money.
Sweet, man. So what's going on, man? You've been coaching Incredible MMA.
Yeah, I've been doing that for like 6 months now. I think when Mark left for Thailand, I took over his classes, and then I just became a paid coach from there.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for a while, and then just training here. And
Sweet, man. And you got this kid Ethan and his brother, right?
yeah, I've got Ethan and Logan.
Logan, that's right.
Yeah.
Sweet guys, man. Sweet guys. Ethan is funny, man. He can go.
Yeah, I
Him
mean,
and Diego were training yesterday too, man. And they
Yeah.
were like, you see that? You
I
went
missed
now?
it, yeah.
That was funny to watch.
yeah, him and Diego get along real well.
Yeah.
It's,
His Logan is good kid too. Very
Diego,
determined.
Diego's that guy that just gets along with everybody, I think.
And you just had your pro debut too, right?
yeah, in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a beautiful performance.
Yeah, it
KO,
went
right?
well. Yeah,
Knockout, TKO,
knockout in the
TKO.
third round.
Dude, you're one of the most fluid strikers like I've seen. You seen the move?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
You got something lined up coming up?
Not yet.
So
You know, like I kind of once I finished that one, I had a few little injuries. I took a really bad eye poke in that fight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I had to go to the doctor for that, and then I had like a neck problem that I was dealing with. But so I've been taking it a little bit slow, but hopefully like March, April, something like that, I'll
Get back in it.
be ready to go.
Second pro fight, right?
Yeah.
How many amateur fights you had?
MMA, I just did 4.
You've been striking for a while. Right?
Yeah, I did like 6 Thai fights, and then I went to Thailand and I did 2 there.
Okay.
It took me a little bit longer. You know, I was doing like different things. I was living in like weird locations. Like
Right.
they were saying, I lived in Wyoming, so there wasn't
Yeah.
really, there wasn't a lot of MMA fights going
Right.
on in Wyoming. You
Hockey.
know?
Only at the bar.
No, I mean, like we had a couple. There was a few shows, so I would usually do. I was going to school as well, so in the summer I'd go and I had this Thai boxing coach there, and we just trained in his house. Like he had like a apartment, and then his bottom floor he turned into a gym. And so I would train with him, and then I'd fight every summer. So that's why it kind of took me like a few years to get a lot of fights.
So yeah, man, it's sometimes it could be that journey, you know.
Yeah.
It takes a little while. I see. What's his name? Mark is kind of following your path too, right? With like Thailand and fighting and all that.
Yeah, he went to the
That's it.
same gym I did, but
Yeah.
you know, Mark's kind of like doing his own thing in a way. Like I think he's.
He wants to strike more, right?
Yeah,
'Cause he
he-
want to do MMA all around. He
Yeah.
wants- yeah.
But I kind of was in that as well. Like when I first started MMA, like my first fight I took on like I done martial arts as a kid, and then I showed up at a boxing gym, and the guy's like, "Oh, do you want to just fight in August?" And it was like July,
Oh,
and so I did it, and then I lost that fight, and then a year later I fought again, and I lost again. So then I took a break from MMA, but I think it was more. It wasn't really the grappling. It was more just like I never really felt like I was gonna do that. You know, it was
Right.
almost like I wanted to, and in my heart I thought that, but then my mind I was like, "Oh, I'm not that guy," you know.
yeah.
And so when I was in those fights, I remember I was like, I don't think I expect to win. And that's probably like the biggest change as like time has gone on is like,
Confidence levels going up.
yeah, and I've had to learn that, you know,
'Cause
it's
I
not
know.
like
Yeah. Go ahead.
people don't like always know it. I think people watch from the outside and they say like, oh, like they're born that way, but you're not, you know, like you have to learn how to like be comfortable in there and just to like believe in yourself in that way. 'Cause that is the difference, you know, like
So you think
There's
you kind of
no-
went in the first couple fights defeated before it ever started?
not necessarily defeated. I would just say it's more like I didn't think that I was going to make it. You know, I never, like, I was just like, I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to tell people that I wanted to do it either. You know, like, it's a big thing to tell someone that, oh, I'm going to be a professional fighter, especially where I was at. Like, no one really believed in that. And so now that that was my biggest change. I just told myself that I wanted to
There's
do
no
it.
specific blueprint, you know.
No.
Like everyone suffers. Everyone has their own demons and goes their own path
Sure.
and shit that they have to deal
Yeah, and
with.
I think you're wrong about that. Yeah, I mean, it's nobody gave you a chance. I think you just everybody has a chance. You never know who's going to be
Yeah.
the next pro around here. You know,
Well, and I don't think they didn't give me a chance. It was more like you don't want to tell somebody what your dream is all the time because you gotta like keep it. You gotta protect it.
Now
you
you
know?
gotta prove it.
You don't want to
Yeah.
jinx it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
People are like, oh, if you like, you know, talk too much about it, and then you fall flat in your face, and it's like,
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, everyone different. Sometimes some people protect their dreams more than others. Some people are very open and
Yeah.
vocal about it.
But you got to be careful with
'Cause
like
you
protecting
qu-
it. You know,
yeah,
you got to
true.
go for it.
You gotta go for it, yeah. Because if you lock it up too deep, man, it might not happen.
Yeah.
I
But
agree.
your confidence level has gone up since you started.
he's
obviously,
training
I
with
remember.
some
Yeah,
of the
it's-
best guys here, man.
Yeah, you know, and I put in a lot of different you know, I put myself in a lot of different situations. You know, I finished college. I immediately went to Thailand by myself. I'd never been out of the country before. And I remember I booked a hotel room with my sister for one night. And I didn't know where I was going to go after that. And so then I went to the gym, and then one of the gym guys took me to an apartment. So I had to break that from me. It wasn't like I just decided I had to work hard.
Yeah, you're on your own. You're
learn,
literally learn a little Thai while you're there.
Yeah, and then my first fight in Thailand, I went to the stadium to watch one of the trainers, and then the guy comes up to me. He's like, 10 days, fight here. And I knew I went there to fight, and that's why I wanted to be there. But
you're an American. We want you to fight.
But I was like, oh, yeah.
Crazy culture over there, huh?
Oh yeah, and then then they immediately take you to the back and they do your posters, and I looked so scared, and then I remember they
typo, you think of that movie?
I was kind of just posed. But then so then I fought that fight and I won that fight, and then I fought 2 weeks later, and they used the same photos for the poster. I was like, you should give me
hilarious. Let's take a new
one.
picture, man.
Yeah. You've seen Kickboxer, right, with Van Damme?
Yeah.
Typo, right?
But that's your good luck picture now, man.
Is it similar to that type of environment? You get all these crazy Thai guys
I mean,
trying
it's just a lot the thing about Thailand is they don't care. You'll be I remember I was in there, and my opponent, you're in this one little room, and I fought at the shit stadium, right? Just cigarette smokes everywhere, and it's
everyone smokes.
Yeah, it's not
even
a nice
the monkeys.
place. But there was my opponent was right next to me, and they don't warm you up in Thailand either. They do the oil massage, and you just kind of shadow box on your own, and then you just go. But the first rounds are usually a little bit slower. And I kept asking my trainer, I was like, oh, can I win this? Do you think I can beat him? And he's like, who cares? And that's kind of the way they are. They have they
fight.
Yeah, they just
It's
want
not
you to
about
fight.
the money. It's not about the fame. It's just fight.
Yeah, it's just, they don't have that, same, it's not a big deal for them.
Yeah.
On me, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And they don't feel that way.
Yeah.
So that's the way the culture.
So let's circle back to the adaptive MMA thing. You've been doing that now for how long? 6 months, you said?
Something like that, yeah.
And
angel work.
Do you do it here at the main facility, or do it at Wings too?
The main facility,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I just have I have 2 brothers, Ethan and Logan, and then I have one other kid.
And what are their special needs? What the Down syndrome? What?
I think like Ethan's got a lot of physical disabilities as well, and then same with my other kid Jake. Mostly physical, but
Logan is okay though, right? He doesn't have anything. Right?
Yeah, he's the brother.
Just doing it for the brother. Yeah.
Yeah, but he loves it, man. I've actually gotten a lot of I've gotten him training at
good.
heavy, and I'll put him on the bag, and I'll be work hard, and that kid will work until he can't go no more.
So with Ethan, what led to his physical problems? Was he born that way, or just something?
Yeah, I actually don't really know, because Mark had him first, so I didn't get the folders, and so then I just came in because Mark left, so I'll cover for him. I started helping Mark out every once in a while, just to kind of be there, and so then I just took over.
So Mark got new guys when he came back. Is that what it is?
He had 6 or 7 people when he left.
Oh, okay. So
and I just took those 2 and Jake because I had already been working with them, and that's why I took them. And then some other people took the.
How old are you right now?
26.
26.
Yeah.
It's an incredible blessing to do what you're doing there. It puts such a smile on their face. I mean, it gives them that confidence level that they haven't had. The parents love it. I love watching the parents come in and
I like their
siblings.
I just realized that he told me he was invited to participate in UFC 2. Did he tell you that?
No, we went over to their house once to watch the fights, and he had this big old football helmet on, and he was padded, and me and Mark were kicking each other in the head and shit.
What the hell?
No, he told me yesterday.
Yeah, he does weird
He
stuff.
was supposed to fight in UFC 2.
Wow.
Oh. This man.
Damn, that's about as old school as
he's
it gets.
donating a treadmill they're going to bring tomorrow. Because everyone kept saying, we need a new treadmill. He's bringing a treadmill tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's a heart surgeon for children.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got some money.
Yeah.
We'll take his hand-me-downs any day. It's nicer than.
He's a good man. I like this. I like
yeah.
this kid. Mama's good too, right?
Yeah. They're both very nice to us, and they had me and Mark over for dinner once. It was pretty funny. We got there and they were like, "Oh, you can start cutting the meat and stuff." And I was like,
They put you to work.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Yeah, we normally got people do this stuff, but since you're here,
but they were cool. They had they came to my fight, and
awesome.
Both my kids' families did.
Heck
so.
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I actually saw them because when I came out of the cage, I got poked in one eye and I couldn't see anything out of it. And I walked in and one of the Logan came up to me and I was like, I can't really see you right now, man, like because it's all dark, you know, when you're leaving. But they all came out.
That's
and
awesome.
Supported me.
See
so.
that makes you feel good, yeah, because you're making a impact on their lives, but in turn they're making an impact on your life.
Yeah.
They're there to support you. You're their coach.
And
you're
I think it's cool for them to see it.
Yeah.
So.
I think that program is incredible, and we're always having some galas and stuff for it.
People don't understand how much goes into it, man. That's literally like God's work, you know. Like
we got something coming up right now with Holly is doing something, right?
We got Holly and we got
$20 and you can have a class with her.
It's already. I think they already stopped registration.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Well,
100 people already registered, like overnight.
Even you started your own little GoFundMe on Facebook, I saw.
That was different. This is like I posted the article, and when you post, because it has like I guess
it has
Facebook
that donation button.
No, Facebook recognizes it's like a non-profit post about it, and hey, would you like to create a button for donate? I'm like, just clicked on it, and $400 later, it's people still donate.
I didn't even know.
I'm like,
this is money to pay Coach
and
Coach Clay.
Because when you select donate, it connects to Incredible Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Because when you create your account, you know, you create it as a non-profit organization account, you know, like business page, you know.
Yeah.
So you specify, and when you do that, I guess they check it, whatever, and there's like a lot of benefits that Facebook helps you promote, and actually Facebook gives you money too towards nonprofit. Like once they see that you're doing good work and doing whatever, so it helps. But everything helps really, because obviously, if it's not that, then obviously you know which wing does and Heather does, they pay out of their own pocket a lot of things, you know, and it's we have already like 39 people in that program, right?
I don't know the number.
Shane says, "Damn, $20, that's too cheap." Well, to spar with Holly, you're probably right.
You're
but
not sparring with Holly.
I think it's like a cardio kickboxing class. Like it's more like for anybody. It's not.
It's just a workout.
A fighter.
Yeah, she does some Monday or Tuesday classes over at Wink's gym. But
they are Monday, and they are packed because my wife goes.
Yeah, this is kind of a more.
So what are your goals, Clay? Like, what are you trying to achieve in MMA sport? I mean, you're going all out, or you're just doing it for fun for yourself?
No, I'm going all out.
You want to go there, up there, make it there.
Absolutely. Like I think that it took me a long time to believe it. I think because I went to school and I feel like my first 2 years I had fun because I was on my own, and so it was kind of cool. I was like, all right, this is good. But then like junior, senior year, I just knew I didn't want to do it. But I was on a full ride scholarship, so if I dropped out, I just would lose a lot of money, you know. And so as I was working through college, I was saving so much money because I didn't have to pay for school. And then, but I knew like junior year, like I was super like I just hated going to class, and like it was tough, you know. And I knew, and then, like when I had a gym there, that was like my first MMA gym I went to, and it was like in this garage. And it was insane. Like, I didn't know any different. I mean, I'd done a lot of martial arts, but we just like kill each other in that gym. Like I knocked out my first like 3 people in that gym.
Jeez.
And then, but he ended up leaving that coach, and so it was me and this other guy who was like a middleweight, and we trained in a park, and in Laramie, Wyoming. So like it got cold, like, and that was that's how I trained for 2 years. Like we would go to the park, and just like we'd spar in the park and everything, like.
Because I know you're a striker, obviously, which is, like, as I said, you're freaking one of the best looking strikers in the way of, not physically, but the way you move and the way, you're good looking.
Thank you.
You know, I don't want to go that way, but, like, the way you move, bro, it's like, damn, bro, like, in and out, angles and stuff like that, like, very fluid, man. So, well, how's your grappling going along, man? Are you, because I know you're the original grappler.
It's going really well, actually, you know, like, I can't say enough good things about Harry St. Ledger as a coach. Like, I think he is amazing. Like, I always I make jokes with other coaches sometimes. I say, like, watch your Instagram story. You're like taking pictures of food. Well, Harry's like taking videos of wrestling matches that are happening in Iowa, and then jiu-jitsu competitions. Like he is always studying.
I watch a lot of videos too, man.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I think separates Harry. Where I'm like, so when I had that fight, I just kind of like. Brogan and Harry were my 2 coaches.
Brogan's your buddy, yeah.
Yeah, and
love Brogan.
Brogan is he's a genius in MMA, man, and he's the same way, studying all the time. And I put my faith into them. And I remember I was doing all these drills with him on triangle escapes with Harry, and it got to the point where I was like bored. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then in the fight, I got caught in the triangle, and I was just like, I was so happy. I was like, there's why, and I never was in danger from it, you know.
Able to get out.
Yeah, and so it was all. So that's really.
Me and you never rolled yet, man. We gotta fucking do it one time.
I know, you look how big and strong you look, man.
I gained a
Hey,
little
now's
weight.
the time to get him. He can't move. His legs all fucked up.
Dangerous,
I'm gonna do the
dangerous.
Brendan Schaub on, where I just stay on the standing and run around in circles.
Exactly. Don't grapple with me.
But
What's up with Brogan? Is he coming back?
yeah, he's coming back. He's got a fight in
He's
March,
got a
a
fight.
title fight.
Yo, he's improved a lot. I remember the first time he came to what he's now. I was like, whoa,
Oh, Brogan is like,
monster.
me and Brogan got along so well because we're very similar, and like, so I don't know if you guys
He's
like.
very chill.
do you
'cause
follow-
He's very chill, man.
Yeah, he's
He
chill,
just-
but he's serious though, you
Yeah,
know. And
well,
like,
serious,
he
but-
had. Did you guys follow Rose Namajunas?
yeah.
She posted like that workout where she did like a technical workout. Brogan sent me 3 pages of notes from it,
Wow.
and then I was like, he's like, jump on it.
Study this.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
wow.
because it's just like that's how Brogan is, you know.
Wow.
Like, and,
So he analyzes this stuff. And
oh yeah, and you know,
never,
like,
never had a problem with Brogan, bro. Every
Yeah,
time
we
he
love the
comes
guy.
in, he's just like, you
Oh.
know, no problem, no go out.
We-
no
we had-
drink,
we
no
had him on the
doing
show.
stupid stuff,
Nothing, yeah.
always just on point, bro.
Hell of
I'm
a
here
fighter
for
and
one
video
thing.
player.
Here for one thing and one thing only.
yeah,
And he's very chill, very approachable, very nice, and just
got that
good,
cool accent.
good person, man.
yeah, I mean, I couldn't.
Very rare people like
I
that.
couldn't have won my fight without him. You know, like he did it was my
You-
first weight cut to
You
135.
kind of all three of you, Mark and the Brogan, kind of similar personalities.
Yeah,
Chill, down to earth, no problems.
No drama. Just
Although you one time you kind of went crazy a little bit. I remember.
yeah, I went crazy. Yeah,
snapped on Misha.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
sorry.
snap on me.
Misha
Yes, you
cried.
did. Yes, you did. You yelled at me, bro. for no
I yelled at
reason.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just like
You don't remember?
it's like John
I don't
Jones
remember
yelling
that,
at the
honestly.
media girl. You know,
Yeah,
It's-
you yelled
you're
at
in
me,
fight
yeah,
mode. You don't
like-
want you're not thinking straight.
You were going through some stuff. It's no problem.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I opened about like I think that you know, like I
know.
had some like depression, anxiety stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was getting ready for
That's
one
fine.
fight, and then
I've
I
been there.
remember that.
That's when it happened. You know,
Yeah.
Like, getting out, I was like trying to talk to you like nice and stuff. Like, be alright about me. Like snapped.
Yeah, like and I remember I was blaming it on the fight. I was like, oh, I'm just nervous for the fight, but in my heart I knew I was like, that's not it, because I've had fights, you know, and I was never like that. But it was kind of cool. Like I felt like that was kind of like my journey last year, and then that led up to my fight in Mesquite, like where I fought for Tough Enough,
Mhm.
and so that was kind of like because I pulled out of the one fight in February, and then I went home, and then I went to Mark was living in Providence at the time, and he was gonna fight, so I flew out there. And I had like this weird panic attack at the night before I was supposed to leave. Like I walked to the bathroom and like everything is like moving. It's like, and I remember I like woke up on the floor. I fainted.
Damn.
And I crawled in my bed and then like I was bleeding out of my shoulder because I like hit the door frame.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so then I go like to the airport because I got my flight. And I remember like I just felt weird. Like I felt like I was dying. Like that's how I felt.
It's panic attacks.
Yeah.
I've had those. I've had depression.
and so I told,
that shit is real. People don't understand.
Oh yeah. And I was sitting in the airport and I remember thinking, I was like, I think I'm dying right now, but I feel like I'd rather get on the plane and die than like go to the doctor and them tell me there's nothing wrong with me. Like that's more embarrassing. So I jumped on the plane and then I was
What a
like,
warrior.
and then Mark was so cool when I got there too. And so like it was good. Like I'm happy I went through it. It was like one of the things where I feel like it was like it kind of helped form like more mental toughness, more confidence.
Mental
you know?
health is important, man. Like people don't understand it. You know, not a lot of people understand it, but so I
Yeah.
always bring that example of like Robin Williams. You know, like the actor.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, like man is a genius actor, right? Comedian, make everyone laugh, right?
Yeah.
And then freaking
Loved
go
by
ahead,
everybody.
you know, loved by everyone, legend. You know, like things like you would think he's the happiest guy ever, right? And then for him to commit suicide, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Robin Williams?
yeah, of course.
And then it's only was 52, 50, right? Like 50 years old or something. Like not that old.
I'm
Even
not
even
even
if it was
sure.
60, you know, whatever. It just shows you, like, man, I think this is the worst enemy ever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't take care of it or you don't work on it, or
Yeah, you don't know what.
people do stupid
just
things,
never know
man,
what's going
especially
on in
with
people's
fighters.
heads.
With fighters,
He
man,
was
because, like,
63.
yeah,
63.
because I get like I get injured a lot, you know, and not being able to train and get that out there like puts me in weird moods, man. Where
Yeah.
like sometimes I just wanna, like I hate that feeling.
He goes into major depression.
I do.
Well, and everyone like Joe Rogan talks about a lot too, where he's like fighting is you're so exposed that like it's so
Okay.
easy to get defensive on people, and you don't want to like get into that. And I think like people really don't really understand so much about like when they're watching, the thing about fighting that's so difficult is that you can always quit, always. Like, and I think that's something people need to remember too. Is like when these people are going out there and having these fights, like, and I think we always say like the same like saying, where it's like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Yeah. But I feel like we as like fighters don't always think about that. Like, in order for you to experience your highs, you have to put someone in their lows. And like that's a big thing, and I think that you have to like.
It's either you or them.
Exactly.
Well, and you have everything to lose by getting in there. The fans or the hecklers and the keyboard warriors and all these people that they're just
you're putting yourself
leeches.
out there. You can get knocked out in front of people and get hurt or look bad. And
they act like they know. Oh, he should have done this. He should have done this.
You can literally shit your pants in there in front of the people, which been done. You know, there's so many things because you get upset stomach, you get this and that, the anxiety. And like for me, man, if I don't train, bro, like for me, I almost feel like there's no purpose for my life. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I get depressed.
Oh, I know.
That's why I get depressed.
Yeah. Well, I think it becomes part of like your personality.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a different.
all I know. Like I have to do it, especially being in this environment where we're all doing it. Like I have to be there. Like it's if I'm not there, it's like what am I living for? Even though I have things to live for, but that's how my mind starts. Like
for sure.
Do you have a fight name? Is it La Pincha? What is this?
Oh. That's Leslie. That's you ever like he's got like a saying La Peche, and he just says it.
Leslie, I know Leslie
all the time. Yeah,
La
Hey,
Peche.
Leslie, what's up, brother? Come back see us. He's a good kid.
He's coming back with his family. He told me.
Really?
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
he started
a good striker too.
A program.
Strong.
Where it's like like somewhere not adapted, but like a martial arts charity. And so I know he's coming back
here.
With it. No, in where he's from in Belgium.
Yeah, I know, but he's coming here.
Yeah, but he's gonna bring his family here because he got a child as well.
To Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Stay here and live here?
Not for like
he's just going to visit. He's coming for a vacation. Or holiday, whatever they call it.
But you're friends with him, right? Obviously, yeah.
When you're from Belgium, it's a holiday.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Leslie. He was here when I first got here. Yeah. So like when I first got here, I remember like I always tell people my room was just insane. It was like me, Brogan, Modesis,
Lithuania.
Yeah, the Tarantula, and Cam Cheetah.
I forgot about that. That was the old school dorms, man.
International as it
Tarantula.
gets.
Yeah, and we had like Jalen was awesome, man. Like we were. Like, I remember in that room, I was looking around like, oh, I don't know if I belong here. Like, these guys are killers, but I remember it was a lot. There was a different feel sometimes with those guys when and now they kind of come back, but when it was just all of us and we were all like out of our element because we just got here.
Yeah, so
it really like you really had to push yourself. You know, it was you weren't comfortable at all. Like
Jalen, is he in the UFC now? Or
he lost
that's right.
That first fight.
Yeah, I mean he took that fight at short notice, weighed up, but Jalen's so talented. Like
I remember the coaches were really talking him up when he was here.
And, he's fantastic. He's very good.
For family reasons or whatever, he had to go back. But
I know he just had a child as well. And no, he's a good guy too. I really like Jalen.
I still have I have pictures from the old days, and there's everyone in the little common area back there, and it seems like everyone's so close, and it's good times back
then. We had like ping pong games and everything. And it got heated.
Sebastian would.
Weren't you very good at ping pong?
No,
not you.
I just talked a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
I was really bad, but like I made some people really mad. Like
they even had a scoreboard up there. It's still there.
Because we were fighting.
Clay, what's some trash talk you did?
Well, like Madison Hobbs was like really good at ping pong, and I would just like talk so much shit to him. He would get kind of upset.
Because I was a champion at one point. Because I lived there.
Oh, you were the champion.
Remember, I was at one time.
Everyone just let him win.
No. I was really a champion. I would beat anyone. But then I'm trying to remember who the hell came over.
That Pat from Australia was really good when I first got here.
Wasn't Jordan?
Somebody started dominating. I couldn't beat them for.
Wasn't it Jordan? This is Beverly Hills.
No.
Jordan didn't come out of his room for a while.
He was afraid of you guys.
No, he was just a chill dude. He was kind of.
He's not used to the culture.
You still talk to Jordan? No.
Not. I haven't in a while. You know, I really like Jordan though.
He just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I think. I don't really know much what's going on with him, but Jordan's an awesome guy too. He's a funny dude. I really liked him as well.
Yeah, he was my son's roommate in college, and it's weird. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's a weird small world.
Yeah, he was cool, man. Like I remember like. When he fought on the Alaska show, they said they thought he was like this kid from a YouTube video because he was so like he was like skipping, and he's a funny dude, man.
He
like
belongs in a boy band, not
boy band. He belongs
MMA fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, but he can kick like nobody's
he's tough.
Yeah,
that was a hard loss to swallow to the last one, man.
It must have really affected him because I haven't seen him since. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish he'd come back.
Maybe he's doing his own thing. I like he doesn't really post on
nothing.
So he's never had social media.
Yeah, so you never really know what he's up to.
He started a couple of times and then it kind of faded away.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sort of similar. I don't post that often either. Like I kind of get weird about it. So
me too. I really don't like it, but just for work I need it. But like, if it
who are you fooling?
Seriously, I don't like it. I need it for work because that's where fighters contact me, man.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
people send inquiries and say, "What are you laughing?" I don't like it.
I think it's a really
I don't want to expose.
Interesting idea, but it's bad. I think
it is bad. Like it's kind of almost makes you feel like bragging and doing things which I'm not, you know. But you're almost kind of forced to do it because I have to recruit. I have to bring people in. You know, I have a lot of people following me, and then people contact me, they collect payments and things like that. Because everyone is that's the easiest way to reach people.
Yeah.
You know, but like it was up to me, I wouldn't.
I feel like it turned like adult life into high school life, where you like how popular your friends are, and you know how popular you are, and you know when like someone doesn't like your stuff, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, people get upset about not being like, oh, you didn't like my picture?
Yeah, I know. But I get it. Like it's like they're exposed, and like you put such a little thing. It's like one photo is supposed to like make me think of what you are.
Exactly.
It's a weird thing.
Every post has to get 100 likes, or you're nobody.
Yeah.
Not even that.
That's why you gotta just really spread them out, you know. But no, I think it's a weird thing, and it's definitely like, I mean, I've seen people from here that post photos from being here that haven't been here in like a year, and you're like, they act like they're still here.
Well, did I miss you? Did I?
That's the funny thing about it. Of course, I take pictures at least once a week, and I'll post a bunch of pictures in the secret group, and people I've never even noticed will post these pictures. I said, I don't remember taking that picture, but they're so proud of that moment, and you'll never see them again.
You remember Timur? You're training with Timur?
Like I think he'd been here like maybe like once or twice when I was here, but I didn't really like.
No.
What's up, Michael?
Timur.
Hey. Oh. Timur, podcast.
What's up, buddy?
Your life.
Oh, he's crashing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of our favorite fighters.
How's it doing, guys?
Good. What's up, brother? Say hi to Clay.
Good. Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Yeah, I'll call you later, brother. Nice to see you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
He hijacked our show there for a second.
Yeah, no
He's legit, bro. This dude is. You train with him? You ever stood with him, wrestled with
No,
him?
I never really like. I mean, he was here, but sometimes I think people like it takes time. Sometimes like you get into like weird groups sometimes as well.
Sometimes you, even though we're like. There's a good team and stuff and everything, but sometimes you have your circle, you know. That
when it's so big and it's so like, it's a fractured, you know, like this is your group, and it changes sometimes. Like I remember like I'll shift, like sometimes I won't spar with a guy for 2 months, and then I'll spar with them every week for 2 months. It just depends on.
Sometimes people like can observe each other. You don't know, like so you either click or you don't click, you know, things like that. But no hard feelings.
Well, and you also know like so right now like Tevin's getting ready to fight, so obviously like I'm gonna spar with Tevin, you know, and then like so it just depends. And then
thanks to him, I'm freaking limping.
Oh, that was him?
Well, he didn't hurt me. It just because I haven't trained for like 3 weeks, and I jumped in, we started rolling, and it created a scramble and kind of started running away from me like on the mat. And I followed him, and he's like obviously younger, faster, you know. So and as I was trying to like catch him, I think he says I need his head, which is like this big, but I think I hit the mat, and that's how I tore my muscle, like in a scramble, like, which I didn't feel right away because I rolled after, and then closer to the night it just swelled like this.
Yeah. Once that adrenaline wears off.
Yeah, you know, like it's weird.
But I really like Tevin. I mean, and then I have like some guys that are always in my group. Obviously, like Brogan, Mark, Greg Fisher. When he's here, I'm always.
Is he coming back? I miss Greg.
He said he's like doing. He's just trying to raise some money and like work a little bit back home, but he'll be back.
He's good.
He's very good.
2 division champ for Shogun.
Yeah, Greg's awesome. Like
good grappling.
Oh, he's good everywhere too, and he works hard as well. How
do you compare your grappling to some of this like high level guys like that? Because you came in, you didn't have much grappling, right? Because you mostly.
I mean, I had done some,
right? But like, how is it improved, right? I would assume.
Oh yeah, like I said, like I always.
You do. Who's your favorite like grappling partners?
My favorite. I mean, Greg probably is one of them. Like I always partner with Brogan for every practice usually.
He's big.
Yeah, but
drilling's okay. Yeah.
But it's like I feed off of his energy too, so it doesn't.
I like Brogan.
Whenever I got like I'm there. So we do our drilling. We'll roll the first round and then I'll go. I like. Who else is really fun to? I mean Tevin. Like I like anyone too that I'm like joking with the whole time and.
This is the first time we're actually getting to know each other because, like, I know you're usually very quiet and kind of down to yourself.
I don't know if I'm quiet. I just come in.
No,
come in and come out.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Clay much because you almost like.
You've been here 2 years and we've never really got to know each other, so it's kind of cool to. Yeah. And that's the whole reason for the show. We want to get to know everybody. You know.
I just kind of come in and
everybody
do
has something to say. Yeah.
That's the best way.
I mean, some people I know really well, and the other ones I just kind of.
You work with Frank a lot too on the strike, and I think his style is good for you, like in a way, because he likes that flashy type of.
Yeah, I worked with Frank a lot when I got here originally, and then, but for like my last fight, it was all Brogan, and but I haven't worked with him in like I think for a good little portion, but yeah, I worked with him for when I first got here. Like when I first got here. Like people kind of
still getting to know.
You don't really. The coaches are sometimes it's like a game. Like they're kind of watching everybody and seeing where they want to go, and then like I mean it's true. Like it's almost like a recruitment pool sometimes. Yeah. And then so like he was still fighting when I first got here. Yeah, so then I was working with him, but he was still competing, and then obviously like Joey. And then,
Joey's one of the first eyes to see people here. Obviously.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Joey's like. He's such a fun dude and
he's encyclopedia man of MMA.
Yeah, and my favorite thing with Joey is that I work with Joey usually once a week when I'm getting ready for stuff, and it's really just to have his energy and his like approach to fighting. You know, like some of the technique stuff is
very encouraging.
He understands it very well. I mean, 40 pro fights, like I mean,
and the mind. That's
you know, he lets you know when you do
good. Good breakdown. Like I really like his ground game. Like the way it's not like a grappler per se, but the way he like locks you up for ground and pound, like little things that he shows. The way you like.
I'm surprised he's not more people's corners at the pro level at the high UFC level.
A lot of people probably think that, like especially his peers, the ones that grew up with, you know, sometimes if you had, let's say, your crew, you know, and you make up big and then you become a coach, they'll never look at you as a coach, they'll look at you as a peer, like
well, and you can only have so many people, you know. I think I haven't met anyone that doesn't respect Joey at all, you know. It's the same thing with Harry, like everyone thinks that Harry, like, you know, and so but you can only have 2 or 3 people, so you know, like that's like he was in the locker room for my last fight and it was awesome. Like he wrapped my hands and just having his energy, but then obviously when I fought I had Brogan and Harry and then Mark. Mark just came with me too. I've had Mark for my last 3 fights, all knockouts too.
Wow.
Like he always will travel with me, like wherever I want to go.
It's your good luck charm.
Well, it's just like sometimes people. It's sometimes just like being relaxed and taking people with you that you want to hang out with too, because you got a lot of downtime. Like getting.
Mark is also like so unassuming, like you too. Like you know, sometimes people look a certain way, like unassumingly, like Jordan, right? Too, like you can't really like 100% say right away. Say he's a fighter.
Tough to read him.
Yeah. You know, like tough to read. But
I don't know. I feel like Mark looks pretty tough with the neck tattoos.
No, I don't know. Maybe to you, but to me.
But he only got those within the past couple of years.
No, he had them when he got.
I don't know. He doesn't look to me.
But he was a lot like Mark's such a. I feel like sometimes it's so easy to forget those success stories. Like when Mark came here, he had barely started training, and now look at him now, and he's like, he's working hard and like
causing chaos in Thailand, going there knocking out.
Yeah, and just to like
Taiwanese.
Just a change of his personality to just being like someone that like I said, it's the same thing. Like having a dream and then actually just going for it. It's one of the hardest things to do, and Mark's done it. So. You know, I like Mark's probably like he's such a good friend too. He's always whatever I need, he'll be there.
It's good.
You know, he did the sauna with me. He did everything.
It's
so
good to have people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Brogan, Mark. I mean, even Celine is another one. Like I always tell everyone, like it's easy to look at like a John Jones and be like, oh, like that's a great story. But it's like sometimes harder to look at Celine and just be like, could you do that? And I don't know if I could. Like, you know, going 1-11 and then to turn it around and like to push.
Story.
That is someone that like has so much mental strength, you know.
I bring her up as an example a lot of the times when it comes down to like fighter struggle and like fighter's addiction to you know, it's like it's a lifestyle. It becomes something that you will do for the rest of your life.
Well, and she does it for the right reasons, you know that. You know, like where other people like there's a lot of people that are trying to jump on like an image or an idea.
Yeah,
Selena's the opposite of that.
Yeah,
Selena's
she's just straight up fucking warrior, man. It's what I do. It's what I'm born for.
And look at like her now. This is her. This year she had 2 striking fights and then a MMA fight where she struck the whole time. Like never done that in her whole career. This is like what 10 years into her career, and to still be seeing that, like that's someone that works hard too. So
her work ethic is incredible.
Yeah, it's too much. Like
I like her personality too. She's very like down to earth too.
She's pretty weird, but like in a fun way, you know, like a fun weird.
Take her to the casino.
Yeah, she's like she plays cards, right? She
Yeah.
plays chess and she fights.
She's very smart.
Very smart.
Been in college for the whole time she's been here.
Yeah. She's funny. She's I like, so I've got a lot of people that like I take a lot of inspiration from like people like her, and Brogan's the same way, and like just the dedication that Brogan has, where I'm like, and he never like, you know, he's doing it for the right reasons, and that's like what makes you feel good about like his success, you know. I was so happy to see he had like 2 camps where he came out here, and then the week of the fight it fell through. The week of and then finally he got him, and the guy shows up 16 pounds overweight. And like you know, I'm sure he was thinking all sorts of things, but he went out there and he got it done, and now he's got a title fight and he's gonna smash the dude. So it's all good, you know.
He's an MVP, man.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I can never give him enough credit. My weight cut, everything. He did my diet. He came over, cooked at my house for me.
Nice.
All like, I mean, it was tough. Like I would not have been able to do that.
I wish I had a friend like that.
Yeah.
Cooking dinner for you?
Cook, yeah.
You have a wife for that.
He has a cook. I want a friend.
Yeah.
I want a friend.
I can't cook. I got an Asian chef.
Do
does
something
it for
else.
me.
Drive
He'll
me
cook
around.
for you.
You have an Asian chef?
He does.
Why?
Yeah,
Because he cooks good. I need
He
to
just
eat.
comes over every day?
No, he lives there.
He's a bowler. He's a bowler, man. Mark's connected, man. He's got
But he's got a wife that does all that
I
for
know,
him, so he shouldn't be complaining.
Well, I mean, congratulations on the birth of your
Thank you.
child
That's right.
as well, Misha. That's pretty awesome. I actually didn't know you were gonna have one.
I didn't want to like until it happens. Like I know a lot of people right away. There's somebody gets pregnant, like oh this and that. But especially with social media, I guess so many weird people following me. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
We could have had an epic gender reveal with a spinning roundhouse kick by some fighters.
Yeah.
Nah.
Kick the balloon or something. Kick the pig balloon or
No,
blow balloon.
Sometimes like you value, child.
Sometimes
So
you can
don't
keep
wanna-
your family stuff with your family.
separate.
I
Like
respect
even
that.
though you want to, like my other son is older, so I'm not as when we have like a little baby, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, you gotta protect that, especially like I'm with that.
My
like,
older son is like, because I'm trying to get his name out there.
He's promoting the shit out of his older son.
Yeah, I know he's been wrestling a lot.
He's
and
killing the football player and stuff, so I want him to get noticed and get scholarships or whatever. Like I said, no, if it helps social media, because I read about like how this whole recruitment works, and say you have to like get noticed, and the only way how you get noticed, right, by
but
promoting yourself. And
it's
social
just a
media.
weird thing how that works, you know. Like
he's a freshman. He's a wrestling sophomore, playing football sophomore. I mean varsity. So he's 15, going against like 17-year-olds and fucking killing.
Well,
Yeah.
he's on
That's
the
why
East
he
Coast.
he
He's a good
deserves
place
some.
to get recruited.
He deserves some.
Yeah, my high school we had like 300 students, I think, in the whole high school.
Wyoming?
No, I went to school in this town called Parachute, Colorado. It was
Parachute.
Yeah, it's like close to Grand Junction, if you know what that
I've
is.
never heard of that city.
Yeah, no, most people haven't. Like it was
Grand
like,
Junction. Yeah, everyone's heard of Grand Junction. But
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But my graduating class was 80. I knew everybody.
Wow.
I lived my first year when I came to America. My first year, I lived in Wisconsin for first year in a very small town called Antigo. So I played like ice hockey and stuff, and it's like because I came from Moscow, so the city, I come from big city, right? Like a lot, especially in the 90s, like a lot of crime, a lot of like bad shit happening. And I end up in this little place where like all the cars are open, all the houses are open, everyone is super nice, waving at me from far away.
Yeah.
It's a weird experience, like culture shock. Culture shock. Like I went to school and I never seen a Russian before, only from TVs and stuff. So I remember.
Yeah, and they're usually the villain.
Yeah, exactly. I remember everyone
Russians are always the villain. You never see a good guy villain.
pointing
They're
fingers
good guy
at
Russian.
me, stuff like that. But I ended up with really good people that helped me, and I was able to learn English fast because I was put in a position where like there's no other choice but to start speaking.
Let's name a movie where a Russian is the good guy.
There's been movies, of course. It's because it's hard to think of one.
Yeah,
Hunt for
he's
Red
not naming
October,
them.
maybe.
Yeah, but he was an Irish Russian.
Yeah, well, yeah, you get what's
Yeah.
There's plenty of movies that portray Russia in a good way, but the stereotype is there. Obviously,
Yeah.
like,
I think it's just the accent sounds good for a villain.
yeah, of course.
It
Yeah,
just sounds
that or
tough.
German.
Yeah,
Hans Gruber.
it just sounds better.
like the Ivan Dragos of this world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you know,
good fighters though. Good wrestlers.
definitely
Those
good
Russians.
fighters.
I did a Google search just to maybe pinpoint a couple, and I'm on like the 4th page of Google to try and find a good Russian guy.
Well, they just made
Propaganda.
they just made another movie with another
Propaganda.
submarine movie that the
Did they?
Russians end up
Not
being
bad.
the good
Bad.
guys.
Oh,
They-
wow.
they
Oh.
It starts out they're bad guys, but there's a
Just a
there's a
misunderstanding.
twist. Yeah,
Oh, a twist.
it's out right now. I forgot what it's called. It's another Red October type.
Well, because like you know, you need a bad, good guy and bad guy, and obviously because America and Russia, two big superpowers, that were always at it. You know, the same thing they do like with Koreans and stuff. North Korea always bad guys.
Cold
They got-
War's
they-
way over.
No. All the movies they do is with Middle East and stuff. That you know they
Yeah.
always need a villain, right? So
Putin's the villain.
you know, there's always got to be a villain. Even though Russians are great people, man, have done so many great things in this world.
So Trump is the hero and Putin is the villain
I guess
in this
so.
story of life
That's weird.
because he's Russian.
Yeah, well,
He doesn't want to get into it today. Usually,
Are you guys a
we were,
political?
we were just
podcast?
we were
No.
just fighting. We were just fighting about
I
this
just don't wanna
downstairs.
start, man,
He
with
just
it.
hates Trump so much.
I didn't
It's-
hate Trump, man. Jesus Christ! I don't understand people that follow him. I call them gullibles. Gullibles.
the
You know,
the
this
gullible.
is the most gullible guy right there. This is okay though. Nick is a gullible
Just
one.
like to give him a hard time.
Yeah.
Because he
That's
stresses
all right.
out. He doesn't have enough things to stress out about.
So
So
Misha stresses out or Nick stresses out?
no, Misha
no,
does.
no, I just.
Nick don't stress out.
Oh.
Well. I don't want to get too political. 'cause we'll
I got
start
4
arguing.
kids at home. My stress is over when they go to bed.
4
Yeah,
kids and a,
kids like young kids. too.
kids and a goat.
No,
You have a goat?
well, we used to have a goat.
Remember we brought the goat here?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I don't know why you guys did
It
that.
took us a day.
Were you here when we brought it that day?
I saw it. I was like, I'm not gonna go pet a goat. Oh, yeah.
Well, it was born when we were talking to that idea kids.
John
Born with
Jones,
Johnny Hendricks, like when he was here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was
and
on
we
the
started
podcast.
talking about it, and we kind of that idea was born in a way like, you know, GOAT, greatest of all time, right? We want to have like a mascot, like a pet for the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, obviously, you know, we're known for John Jones, right? So I figure we'll get the meanest, blackest,
Biggest balls.
balls goat. But then when we got it and we brought it, remember it took like a piss and it stood downstairs for
Took
like
a
10
poop and a
minutes.
piss.
It just take a bit.
USADA was like slow clapping, like
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for the sample.
Yeah.
1 through 7, that's enough.
So it was like, it was a joke originally, but then we realized it wasn't a successful.
Not a good joke.
And we he
Destroyed
took
Nick's house.
It took us like 20 minutes to load him to the car, that goat, you know.
And then when they released him in Nick's house, he destroyed it.
Yeah,
So
he destroyed
it
the
wasn't a
house.
good thing.
Yeah,
Did
he
you volunteer for that, Nick?
voluntold.
Yeah.
But,
Well, his kids talked him into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Well,
we
that's
were
what I
told
mean.
We should
Yeah.
get like a fainting goat, you know, like the ones that like faint.
You
ever
yell
heard
at
of
it and it
But I
falls
said,
down.
what
Why don't
do
we
you
just
think?
get a dog?
Well,
Yeah.
Wink
I don't think we should.
Wink
get
didn't even want any pets at all. That was
So you went with a goat.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it busted my
Because
back
it
window.
meant something for a second. As it
I don't know.
Lydia tried to.
no, but you get it right.
Yeah, I mean, I get the
Greatest
joke,
of all
but I
time,
just-
you know, John
it's still an
Jones.
animal.
We called them Bones.
It was a failure.
Yeah, I mean,
It was an experiment that didn't go too well.
It's all right.
yeah.
But
You live and
it
learn.
was fun shopping for that goat out in
Yeah.
Bosque Farms.
Because when
So
we tried to
what'd you do
explain,
with it?
when we tried to
So Nick ended up eating it.
he and the kids.
Oh,
ate
yeah?
it. No, he sold
Is
it.
that what they're selling in the Jackson Wing Cafe?
The burrito.
The funny part was trying to explain the person we were buying from what we needed for, and he looked at us. Remember, like we
Yeah.
idiots, man. He's
Yeah.
like, "The hell is wrong with you guys?" We're trying like
The
you know-
farmer.
Well, he knew
You
better.
know, he's like, you know, that goat is going to be famous, right? You know that this is going to be the most famous goat in the world. You know, and he was like, "What the hell are you
It's
talking
like,
about?"
hey, you just give me my $100. I'll take it,
They
whatever.
go do whatever the fuck you want with it.
It was only $100.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, it was kind of buck.
Yeah, it was
75.
an older goat that he was trying to get out of the gene pool because he wanted some.
It was a
different
very
color.
Had
aggressive
like
goat.
had like a beard and
Yeah,
all.
and then I took it home,
Looked like John.
and I had a cattle dog, and the cattle dog was gonna live out his dream. Like, man, I get to finally herd something, and then he started trying to herd, and then that goat rammed him in the head, gave him a concussion.
Clay's thinking
And then-
idiot.
Yeah, like I could have told you this. Like,
Yeah, well, Lydia tried to
Yeah.
talk us out of it too. She's like, "Yeah, you guys don't know what you're doing."
In our head, it sounded like so right.
Yeah.
Because
But what
we were
would you
laughing,
do with
we were
it?
laughing so hard. We were thinking it's gonna have like a nice little bells going around the building. It was like, hey, when we were thinking like, hey, if somebody comes in, hey, can I talk to John Jones? Bones here. Be like, yo, Bones.
Yeah.
And then motherfucker comes in.
Wait, bring the goat in to take a picture with him.
it's not that funny, guys.
It was funny at the time.
It's funny.
Hey.
It's funny because people always come in. It's like, hey, can we take a picture of John Jones? And be like, yo, Bones, get over here.
I want to meet John Jones. Is he here? Then we would
We're
always
here
he'd
going,
always
like-
be here.
He's thinking, like, fucking.
Just got to hold him
Yeah.
by the horns.
Like, I just could have told you that was bad.
Well, you know, people.
We're trying.
Like, I don't like to say that I'm that wise, but I just know that I wouldn't
Yeah,
own a
you're-
No,
goat.
we know. We
You
know.
know,
We know.
it just
Hindsight,
it
as they
smelled
say.
bad too. Yeah.
It did smell.
Yeah, it did smell kind of funny.
My backyard still smells of goat.
Damn. Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh well. Next time we'll just stick to
We'll
goldfish.
get a parrot.
A parrot. He'll be
I just don't
repeating.
think animal.
The parrot will start
mascots, you know?
doing fish. Good. There. It'd be
Yeah, they're
cool to have a
funny.
parrot that does that.
Took me a while to get what you were talking about.
You know,
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah, Joey's got some good ones.
Joey and
But then
Holly.
sometimes I'll like see someone hit a technique that doesn't look that nice, and he'll be like, "There," and I'll be like, "Damn, what did mine look like?" He's a little bit like you never know.
He's so
you know?
encouraging.
Oh, pump it up. Bump it up.
He's been a little bit feisty lately. I feel like
Oh,
in
is
his
it?
practices.
Really?
Yeah, like he gets into it now.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah,
the
he
weather.
goes.
Like he'll stop people in the middle of sparring. It's pretty funny to watch. Like,
Yeah, it's a couple coffee.
well, he's got a couple guys now. Like Luis. Like I sparred with Luis
He's
for
good.
my fight. The dude's nasty, man. Like he's got like purple belt in jiu-jitsu, 30 boxing fights, and
Wow.
he's
Wow.
got the mean streak in him. You know.
30 boxing fights?
Yeah.
Holy
Wow, I
shit.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
awesome.
Oh wow.
And so that was who I brought in to spar for my fight. So I did one spar a week with the team, and then at night I'd bring in Luis and just do 3 with him.
Sweet.
And every round was hard. He's a talent. Like he's one of the
We have
better
a-
guys I think that's come in here
We have
recently.
a lot of guys. Ash, CJ, Cooper. Man, so many up and coming guys. You,
Yeah.
Mark. Wish Mark fought more. I think try MMA. Even amateur or grapple.
I think he's looking to. There's like talks of a lion fight show coming.
Okay.
So you know, I mean, I think that.
that's my title, right?
Yeah, he's gonna do
He's
some.
coming here to town.
Yeah.
I heard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing more Muay Thai. And
I would like to go to a live Muay Thai. I've never been to one.
In Thailand.
Well, I would love to that, but if they come here, I'll be done.
No, it should be a fun show.
Cool thing with the headdresses and
Yeah, I
all
would just
that.
like to see that
yeah.
the whole movement behind the scenes. Like,
Oh,
you
it's-
know, like it'd be like hardcore.
It's a little different. I had
Culture
one
shock,
of the times I saw like this guy throw up in the middle of a round and then they just kept
Bad.
fighting. It's wild over there. Like, and then there was like a 7-year-old that fought a bunch.
Wow.
There's bodies, man. Like they do it like for work, man. Every weekend, right? Like
They got
so
the-
do it.
Yeah, like if
They
they
got the-
can.
They got the cool shorts and the cool headgear. And
Yeah,
John
Tight-
Jones usually wears the
tight
tight
pose.
shorts, but he didn't this year. He went back to the spandex type. I don't know what you call those.
Yeah,
Well,
But he
yeah.
usually wears those
That's
Muay
it.
Thai type
that's what I usually wear.
with the split.
compressions.
We have
Yeah.
good mix of people, you know, all around. Just like good environment for breeding, fighting, doing what we do.
Yeah, you know,
We
I think
go
it
ups
just
and downs and stuff. Every gym has ups and downs, and people. There's so much people and of
Domestic
course you
violence.
got- we have
that?
lots of domestic violence.
what?
Yeah, he's our
It's
brother
like a-
cowboy. He got in a fight with us. You didn't hear about all that?
That's not domestic
It's
violence.
domestic.
It
We
is.
love each other. It got all
within the house.
it got all weird.
Well, we fight. It's domestic.
A household member
Household.
is the joke that they're trying to do.
Yeah, that was a weird joke too, guys.
Gosh, we can't.
Clay, we
Clay's
can't-
very
I-
serious.
Yeah,
Weird.
no, I'm not serious. Like, I like a good.
He doesn't
joke.
like our goat. He doesn't.
Like, if he had a
sense of
good
humor.
joke.
Weird sense of humor.
Oh, like I just have a high taste, you know.
Yeah, no, the chicken crossing the road kind of stuff.
No, I'm more highbrow.
Yeah.
I'm sophisticated. I watch Oscar movies, you know. You
there
know,
you go.
You guys gotta pick it up a little bit.
Did you watch the Golden Globes this weekend?
Beautiful Mind.
No, I didn't watch.
Oh,
it.
you fucking! I just looked at you and I said "Beautiful Mind." I thought of Russell Crowe. He does look like Russell Crowe a little bit, doesn't he?
Russell Crowe.
No, not really.
I don't
Yes,
see
he
that.
does. No,
Russell
The
Crowe's
beard.
like 60 years old.
He's got a
that has to
beard.
do with 60 years old.
He's got the beard.
Just all around. I mean, I can see that. Like from Gladiator, when he had that beard. I can see little resemblance.
Russell Crowe's been in a lot of
Nice.
stuff.
You guys are killing me over
Clay
here.
Crow.
You're not fun.
I'm not fun. I just you just gotta step up the jokes.
All right, tell some jokes, Clay. Come on, get this thing going.
I don't know,
We're
man, I'm
killing
trying
ourselves
to
here.
bounce back from that domestic violence joke.
Well, it was domestic. It was
It wasn't. There's no violence.
well, violence doesn't necessarily isn't physical. It's
Yes.
words. It's a war on words too.
Yeah.
I don't think it was violent.
No, like I said, domestic
pretty
violence
violent. Are you guys
isn't
okay?
always
Very
violent.
fun. Yeah, it hurt my feelings so bad, bro. Of course, it's violent. When you hurt someone emotional, physically, it's
Yeah,
same thing. I was emotionally hurt.
I feel it, but I think it's
I was
always
emotionally scarred.
At least there's no restraining orders involved.
Well,
so
I just
that's-
think it's
Oh,
you know,
would you-
everyone's got their own thing. You know, like and I think that it's like I liked. Did you ever listen to Chael Sonnen and stuff? Like you said, like you know, you got somebody that believes what they believe, and then the other like nobody's right, nobody's wrong. You know, it's just a disagreement. It's I don't think it, I think that the issue, in my opinion, which I think everyone gives it, is like sometimes you just gotta let those things go. You know, and I think that it's like the biggest
The
thing.
major problem is going public with it. Because when you have a problem, it's like, you know, between you, let's say, with friends or with family, or something happens, like, I wouldn't go public personally.
But it's a story, you know. It's,
That's
and
a
then
story,
like look
man.
at the fights that build up. And,
Shitty ass story from to me.
I've been listening to Chael Sonnen. He's actually a pretty smart guy.
He is.
oh, he knows the business.
And he is funny because he was defending John Jones a lot with the USADA stuff, and
because he went through that shit gazillion times.
and then John, during that interview with Ariel and the bad guy or whatever they call that show, he refused to talk to him. And it blew my mind. I
Must
said,
have been
wow.
a reason or something.
Well, I
Well-
listened to Chael's. The thing with that USADA stuff is like sometimes I think people just need to take a step back and realize like I do not know anything about this. So I feel like everyone had an opinion, but I don't have an opinion. I can't tell you anything about that. You know,
I
like
don't know shit about
like I listened to like the Nowitzki interview. I can't tell you like peak. I don't know what it means. Like and like
Exactly.
I feel like you need more of like Nowitzki. I feel like just threw out big words. Whereas like I wish I had like someone that could just like.
Well,
be
he-
like this is what it is. This is what
Well,
it
he's
is.
the
you
guy.
know?
He's the guy that's just reporting. I mean, the scientists are the ones that actually did the test. So I mean, they're
Yeah, I feel like there's also like a lot of like I was listening to a lot of the science is pretty like basic on that still.
To
like
me,
we're
if it's
still learning.
insignificant, why the hell even talk about it?
Well, and then Frank Mir got on and said, "Yeah, I was busted for the same thing. Yeah, I got 2 years." But I think it was Chael Sonnen that brought it up, the fact that he never appealed it, so that's why he just got the maximum. Where John, of course, fought it, so he didn't get as serious of a thing.
Well, I think Frank's point was that he said that he asked if it was possible that it was from a long term, and they told him no.
But he also had the opportunity to
Yeah.
appeal it, and he refused.
To
Yeah.
me, it's all
it-
confusing. man.
Yeah, it's
Just to be honest.
it's an interesting thing. I think that like everyone like tried to champion USADA, but you gotta understand like there's some things too. You gotta look at like, is it really right that they can just come to your house whenever you want and stuff like? And then that's another thing with like fighters don't have a say. Like the UFC just goes, oh, this is the deal now.
And on top of it, everything is
But-
like they ruin your character, man. Like
Yeah.
before even arbitration, you know, they make an
Yeah,
announcement.
they've
that's
screwed
like-
over John a couple times.
You know, like they're like a public does not need to know that John, let's say, did coke.
the
or whatever.
cocaine one, yeah, that
What
was
the
the
hell
first
is that
one where they
about?
screwed
Why?
him over,
Why?
yeah.
Is it his personal life? I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to punish where, I mean, I don't know, like why bring it up?
No,
Like,
I mean I feel you.
it's you ruining someone's reputation and character. There should be repercussion, man. Like I would sue the crap out of it, man. Like if it was personal. I mean,
yeah. But then you don't really know like what the contracts they're signing,
That's-
what
that's-
rights they have. But I don't think that the cocaine one was USADA though. I think that was just like
Either
Nevada,
way, I mean, they
you
should,
know.
unless you went through arbitration and all that stuff and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
No,
until
I
you were
agree.
afforded the opportunity to defend yourself and things like that. There shouldn't be a public announcement where it
Yeah.
dragging you through the mud, you know, like, especially when you already had one strike, you had second strike, and then, so now every time you bring it up, it's like, no one's going to believe you,
Yeah.
even though if you're not wrong, you know, if something it didn't happen, like, I mean, maybe you just drank some shit, and it could be like picogram of something, you know, and
Yeah.
they could pop. I mean, either change your threshold, or, I mean, this is not a good system that they have.
Well, I think
I
also
don't
people
believe
get so worked up about it, but you gotta realize like part of it is just like the game. Like the fight was more exciting because of the story. So like sometimes, like I think that people get like, well, why are these fans saying this? But like sometimes it's just more
Maybe,
fun,
maybe,
you know?
yeah,
It's
maybe.
more fun
It
to
is
be
fun,
a part
it
of
is
like
fun.
I always say like Habib and Conor. Like how many people out of the
There's a
people that
big
bought
story,
that fight
yeah, there's a big story.
bought it because they're the two of the best ever? Not like
They
a
bought it for
small,
the hype.
Yeah, like
The
'cause,
UFC
like,
hype.
they like that like
Yeah.
Connor's talking about his dad and
Yeah.
Habib is like
Throwing-
slapping Artem and
throwing
like people want to see
dollies
that.
into the bus.
No,
And,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I agree.
Like the casual fans, you know, like they want to be told the story. And it doesn't always. I feel like sometimes that we think it always has to be like the bad blood, but like if you look at like Wilder and Fury, did you guys watch that fight?
Yeah. That was a big
like
story.
that build up was
They
so
talked-
good because
they
it was
talked a lot
like
of shit.
they told such a good story, and it wasn't necessarily about Deontay and Fury not liking each other. It was about like Fury's battle from depression and coming back, and like Deontay being this undefeated champion but not having the respect of the boxing community, and it just made this awesome story. Like there was a UFC card on. I watched Zero MMA that night. I was so stoked for that fight. You know,
That's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
just like they told the story so well, and then after it ends, like they continued the story.
Like
It's,
with Khabib and Conor too. That story will continue forever.
oh, yeah, they're
man.
gonna fight again. I feel, but
Like John DC too. That shit was gonna live on forever, man.
yeah, well, I mean, they might fight again as well. Like,
Yeah.
but those are good. I feel like sometimes then they try to make it so there's not new. Like the thing about John and DC that's so fun is there's always new layers. Like new things happen between them, so it's always like, oh,
Yeah, 'cause
like
they're the top
could
dogs.
it be at heavyweight
They're
now?
the top
or-
dogs. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, and
you know.
that's a true rivalry.
Yeah.
They have that story.
Yeah, it's a fun one, and I mean, I think
What do you
Conor
think?
and-
How do you think John would do it against DC in a heavyweight? Same, right?
yeah, I don't really.
See,
I guess that
think-
it's just like it's refreshing, and then, but I can't say those things because I think that comes with the idea of like, do I know what the weight cut was like for DC? Because I don't, so it's hard for me to say. Like,
Well, you figure they're both walking around at 235, 240.
DC
Yeah.
is way bigger.
but I think a fun. Like I
DC
heard
is
the
over
idea floated
250.
You
around
think?
Yeah, I know.
is if John went and fought DC at heavyweight, won, and then fought Kane, that'd be fun.
Wow.
I want to see that. Like Kane and John.
What do you
would be-
think of? Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be awesome, huh?
And then what do you think about Luke Rockhold talking all this stuff? Man, that kind of made me laugh a little bit.
I don't know. I think he just.
I don't think
He's
he possessed.
moving up to light heavyweight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I'm
But I
coming
think
for
light
the
heavyweight's
princess.
small. Like
It
like
is,
so
it
you got
is.
like there's not that many options,
is.
so it's easy for a guy that's
Yeah.
got notoriety to jump at the queue. I mean, I would watch.
No, I would
that
watch
fight.
it, but I mean, I don't see Luke Rockhold posing any danger to
I
John.
mean, I think his grappling
He's a
game
good-
is super solid as
Yes,
well.
but-
It'd be a different fight, It's a different fight. He's got the long kicks. Like I would watch that.
They asked him.
I'd watch all of them.
They asked him about the Anthony Smith fight, and he said John was gonna knock him out in the first round. He's given Anthony no chance whatsoever against John. So,
Yeah, I, mean,
Rockhold.
I like
Well-
that fight too. Like you got the quick turnaround and then like kind of the underdogs.
Yeah.
And, like, I think we always got to like think of like the story of the fights. Like sometimes it's fun to like play that, And I think that sometimes we forget that. Like, and I think that like Anthony Smith, like no one thought Anthony Smith was going to fight for a title last year,
crazy.
and now and fair play to him, he won big fights. Like it's fun. I just get excited about like the fights. I don't really get too worried about anything else. I'm still like, if they booked Conor Habib tomorrow, I'd be stoked.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I want to see. I still think Conor
I'd love
can
to
win.
see-
I believe.
I don't think so.
See, I think like the thing about Conor that's so fun is I think he changed the way people view what's possible, and like regardless of like.
True, but he failed many times too.
Yeah,
when
but
he
I don't think
spoke.
there's nothing wrong. Like
No,
people
there's
like
nothing
it,
wrong, but I'm saying,
and
like,
he was smart too. People don't give him that when he lost.
he was just fortunate enough to last that long based on his persona and like how he was portraying himself and like
a genius,
They
admirable.
called him Mystic Mac, for that reason that
Yeah.
he was able to
Predict when he was
call
going to
it
knock people
and
out.
it happened, which is you don't know like really, is it really luck or like it's actually like he was able to.
Yeah, no.
Well, and you
pull
got to
it
look
off
at
that
how it
way.
aged. His fights aged better than anyone's ever because he beats Max Holloway and then Max Holloway never loses again. He
Right.
beats Dustin Poirier and look at what
Yeah, he
Dustin
goes on a
Poirier
good win.
like. His fights aged really well, which I think helps his legacy a
Yeah, he
lot.
can-
Where you look at him and
The only problem he never defended his title, so I don't know if it's
yeah,
has
but
any
he did. It's like fans were pissed at GSP for not moving up, and then he moves up, and now they're pissed for him for not staying.
Do you think anyone can beat Habib like in the
I mean, I want to see the Ferguson
I
fight.
wanna, but they
you
know
know?
they don't want to do that fight. They keep saying.
I mean, I don't know why. Like that's
don't
the
understand
fight.
why.
I mean, I think that.
they want the money fights. And
I mean, I think that's a money fight. I feel like any fight
I would
with
say
Habib will be a
that's
money
a
fight
huge
now.
story behind it because both guys like on a crazy winning streak.
Oh, and
mean,
I'm a big. I like Tony Ferguson's style. Like he is.
he's a grinder, man. Like
Oh, and
crazy blood.
He's like that guy that just
zombie.
doesn't quit, and he's tough and he's durable. I want to see that bad. Like, I mean, I think there's some good fights out there for Habib. Like that I would. I mean, and there's talk that the GSP fight, like that would be good. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, someone can beat Habib.
Superman.
Someone can. Like, I feel like
Anyone can
anyone
beat
can be
anyone,
beat,
yeah.
and like Conor could beat Habib. Like Conor only needs one punch, and you never know like how the rematch would play. And
As a striker, like, do you really think that people really over, how to say it in English, like when Khabib doesn't have any striking, right?
Yeah.
Like I laugh at this, for example, all the time because he doesn't look like you. Obviously, when you strike, it's like it's art, right? Like you look fluid,
Yeah.
you like in and out, like beautiful angles, like you could almost like paint a picture with the way you strike. Like I'm perfect. Like I think you one of the best looking strikers the way you move. Personally, like.
Well, thank you.
But Khabib doesn't, right? He's more like it's different type of sambo strike. A lot of his striking is based on what? On closing the distance, hooks. You know, he's not gonna stand there and box with you or kick with you as much. His striking is based on entering your space, so he can take it down, clinch. Fedor used to do most of the sambo guys are like that. Because the judo guys, right? Judo is part of sambo, and a lot of good takedowns, a lot of clinch, a lot of wrestling. That's what Russian martial arts is.
Yeah.
And striking is based on that. But it doesn't mean that he can't stand there and strike and still, you know, like you saw, he landed things, you know.
Yeah.
2 fights in a row. At first he dropped McGregor. Fight before, he freaking landed like 20 jabs on Ala Quinta, you know. So like,
well, at that level, there's
how can you
nobody
say
that's
he has
not
no strike? If the guy doesn't look pretty striking, it doesn't mean he doesn't know how to strike or he doesn't see certain things, right?
Well, it's the same thing when they say McGregor can't grapple.
Exactly.
That's not true either. You know, it's like, but you're dealing with like Habib's expert grappling, and then so it is.
So
you know, like I feel like Conor fought that first round really well. I really do. Like I think he did some really good things, and then. You know,
I think he just stayed there too long. When Khabib shot that first, like I think was it low single or low ankle pick or something. He ended up in the scrabble and Conor started kind of like try to do that thing. I think he thought like, oh, okay, I can probably hang in there, and then he realized like, oops.
Well, then I think that I guess time. Habib wasn't really ground and pounding in that first round, so he kind of bought time. I don't know. I think that fight was good, and I would want to watch it again.
I would
want to watch it again,
I would love to see it.
And I don't think that like
I would love
they
to
should
see
just be suspended or like. Who cares? Like nothing happened, in my opinion. I don't think it was a big deal.
It's not a big deal. There was way worse things that happened before.
Yeah.
Well, UFC 235 is going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Askren and
Diego
as well.
Holly,
Lawler,
Askren,
What do you
Woodley, Garbrandt.
I mean, it's hard. It's just because it's such a different level that he's ever fought at. But like, I buy into it. I buy that he's the truth. You know.
Well, they have to give him a fight that.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
To this hardcore veteran. Like
I get excited for that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm excited to see Zabit and Stevens as well. Like that's a fun fight.
Masvidal's on that card.
I know Zabit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one too, because I think that it's like
what
Zabit will play that game, but you got to watch out for the like. Obviously, Stevens is probably the hardest hitter.
Diego Gale, man.
Yeah, Mickey Gall.
Yeah,
he talked a lot of that shit about us.
Oh, it's
part of the game.
He's getting the fight.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Woodley versus Usman?
I think it's probably Woodley's toughest fight. Like, I don't really know why they're not doing the Colby fight.
The Covington thing. That's everyone's talking about.
I would love to see it because I want him to lose bad.
Oh.
Covington. He was talking shit about John Jones this morning on the way in.
What about Dana White? Man, you see that stuff he was throwing at Dana
But I
White?
mean, it's almost like I agree with him, but like he's saying, like when you listen to him, it's awful. But you can't take away from the point that like he was the interim champion and now he's not fighting. Like it doesn't matter if you like him or not. Like, do you think that he was done right? Because I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a good. Like, do I think he's annoying to listen to? Yeah,
terrible.
But also that.
They're saying
that doesn't mean that he's.
Usman's the guy that'll fight anybody, anytime, and
yeah, that's overrated.
Covington says no. I want Woodley only. Period. No one else. And so.
Yeah, but that's also the fight that people want to see, and it makes so much more sense. Like I think, like you look at Woodley, and he's kind of got like, the fans haven't really picked him up. Like, people are gonna be rooting for Woodley in that fight. So
him
like,
and Trump got something coming.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, yeah, but you
so
gotta
is
use that
Dana
one,
White.
You know, I don't know.
No, Dana White's not like that. He's intelligent.
Yeah. Which fighters do you guys like that aren't here? Like, I feel like you guys.
Obviously we're prejudiced towards our own.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but like
we're going to support
what do you think
over
of, what do you think of
opponent,
Max's last fight?
I love it.
That was
oh
like
my God, what a performance, man! I thought
that was
a
masterpiece.
He's a badass.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Because what's his name? Undefeated, coming off such a great wins, man. I thought he was able to make something happen, man. Especially after the way he laid out. What's his name? Frankie Edgar, man. And Edgar was never cracked like that.
Oh yeah,
man. Cobb is legit grappler too, man. You ever grapple Cobb? You know, right?
No, like
holy shit.
I actually haven't trained with Cobb much. He came here, but I had 2 conversations with him, and he is a genius as well. Like
good.
he had this talk, and he was telling me about like the way he breaks down his opponents. It was like one of those ones when I came here. Like I think like my favorite guy here was like Carlos Condit. Like I used to always love watch his fights. Like back in the day though,
everyone's favorite.
Yeah, I mean I was really like a big BJ Penn fan back in the day. Like I remember when he fought GSP, I was convinced he was going to beat him the second fight, but then it was like Carlos Condit. But then like once I had a conversation with Cub and you realize like how his mind works, like instantly I was like, I went back and watched all of his fights because like.
Have you been here when BJ Penn was here? Did you get to meet him? Okay.
Yeah, I met him. Like it was cool to meet him.
What's it like for you that thing like following his fighters and getting to the camp and you hear all these guys like
I don't know. Like, I guess like partly I wish that I had the ability to kind of like feel it more, but I kind of like have normalized everything, which isn't always good. I feel like we kind of lose that like sometimes where I was talking like my girlfriend has a child and like. You just watch her and she's amazed by everything, and I'm like, man, like I wish I was like that, you know. And I wish that I had that. Like, there was a few like
wow factor, like wow the way
because everything is so cool. Like sometimes, and then like even like when Joanna was here, I was super like excited because I loved watching her fights. Like,
Nama Junis was here too.
Yeah, we had Rose and her.
Yeah, she's awesome as well. Like,
who hasn't passed through here, bro? Right? Like,
that's crazy.
Joel
Pettis
Ramirez,
brothers,
everyone always.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
Perry.
But I always think like it's so cool to watch too. Like, I mean, obviously I like what we have here, but I think like as MMA grows, you have to realize that like there's no best anymore because there's so much knowledge that's all over the world now. And so you watch like Max Holloway. Like, who is Max Holloway's coach? Does anybody know? But I guarantee he's a fucking genius. You know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that's.
It's never thought of
maybe
that.
or maybe not. Actually, you know.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know. Like I can't say because it just could be Max Holloway. Could be just.
I mean, I think he is
Max
as well.
Holloway's
but you look
genius,
at the growth.
But then you could be like.
Ronda Rousey's coach could be coaching him, and he'll
coach is like it's like it could be a circle of people, you know, and the main coach could be just someone that he grew up with. It could be like his brother, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's a genius. They maybe together combined they make the geniusness of the whole situation.
But I feel like Max isn't picking someone that doesn't know what they're doing. I just feel like
I'm sure
you
they
look
know
at the growth,
because everyone knows what they're doing.
That's what
to
I
a
mean,
certain
like
extent.
It's different.
But to call someone a genius, I don't know what would be the mark of like who is a genius. Because you have Matt Humes, right? He only has like only one best of the ever, right? DJ, right? But then who else came out of there? But then you would think like
Bibiano.
I heard the name, but it's not like.
Yeah, I mean he was undefeated for years too.
Right.
But I've heard that's just the way he approaches it. But.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
And you have Greg and Wink, who's got an army of who's of who, you know. So you go figure, you know, is it why or what? And
well, I just think the knowledge is just spreading now.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I'm saying. It's like everything's so like. You know, interchanged in a way. It
was like the same
like
thing.
John always says, any of these high-level fighters can stand as a coach on their own. Like Holly could be, if she was an interesting coach, and she could be, you know, I mean, the amount of what she possesses skill-wise, right? She could be like a genius coach.
Or just the knowledge.
John Jones or.
There's also like
Carlos,
the temperament. You gotta remember. I feel like you look at like I'll never remember when TJ first came into the UFC and he was like this. Just wrestler, and then all of a sudden, boom! One fight. It was the Mike Easton fight. Bang! It was just and like so. It's always you gotta find those people too,
the
and
right people around you.
And there's also those coaches. I feel like you watch Dwayne. He's that same way, and like there's just so much knowledge now where you never know. Like
Dwayne trained under Greg, right? At one point.
No, I don't know.
You know, it was funny because there was like I keep bringing this up because it is actually funny. There's somebody posted something online about, hey, who's the best coach ever, you know, and like people like Greg Jackson and Wink, and some people like somebody says like Conor McGregor's coach,
Mark Kavanaugh,
Mark Henry.
Guy says Kavanaugh, Firas, and like no, he says Firas and Dwayne, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody writes on there, you know that, and he said Greg is overrated, right? And then someone is like, oh, you know that Dwayne and Firas are both Greg Jackson students, right?
Yeah.
I was like died laughing just for simple fact is that, they're great coaches obviously, but you know the lineage and like where they're coming from, that under Greg. So Greg is probably one of the most OG coaches in the game because I keep bringing it up all the time. If you see started in 1993, right? When he first became, started picking up, and Greg started his move in 1992 before even UFC.
The year before the UFC existed.
So it's kind of like progression of that is like you'll have all these major camps in the world that no longer exist anymore when it started back in there. Remember, like if you follow the game, like Pat Military Systems and all those things, Alliance Den, things like that. And then here we are still, so it's kind of like.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone doesn't believe that he's high level.
I'm just saying, just kind of funny that people things people don't know.
Well, and then people just change and adapt. Like I think it's so crazy. Like if you watch Dwayne's fighting and then watch
Dwayne's
the way he
amazing,
coaches, they're not the same at all. Like
Of course they're not.
he's
Of course.
changed so
You
much.
Pick up your own thing. you
Even
run with
like
it.
you know, like Henry
he's more like best
Cejudo's
Rutan,
coach
you know, best Rutan
Yeah.
system. That's more what Dwight. I mean, Ludwig adapted after. He's more of
Yeah.
a striker. Greg
But
is
it's
more
not the same though.
It's
Like
not.
like it doesn't
It's
look
not.
how Boss used to strike or
True,
how
true.
Dwayne. Like he's another like.
The game evolves. as
Yeah,
we
and like
speak,
it's so cool to like know that like you can. I feel like that's something that should make everybody work harder. Is that you don't have to be like in a certain spot that everyone knows you now. Like no one knew who John Kavanaugh was until
No,
Conor came, but then he had like 6 guys in the UFC, you know, and that's nothing to laugh at. Like that's a lot. So like it's cool like to see like, and then that's like Dublin, Ireland, not known as an MMA hotbed,
Yeah.
and he had, you know, and then you got like Gunnar Nelson, real high level fighters.
Oh
like,
yeah.
so it's
No, yeah,
it's so cool that's like one of the coolest things is you don't, and you want to know like what do they do, like don't aren't you curious what a practice for Mighty Mouse looks like? Like I wish
yeah, I would
I want to
love
see it so
yeah.
bad and like
You know?
because I think like you know it's always good to like trust in what you've got, but you gotta like look and like when Rose posted that video and I got the message from Brogan, I was looking at like she's doing some really
She trains in
neat stuff.
Colorado, right? Is it-
Yeah, Trevor Whitman and
He's
then
good,
she
yeah.
got like a jiu-jitsu coach as well there, but awesome stuff. Like I don't know, that's like
Yeah,
the
man.
stuff that excites me the
No,
most.
no,
You know?
it's fun to talk about, fun to observe, man. Always some going on, you know.
Well, we gotta wrap it up
Yeah.
according to the producer. So
Well, we're
uh,
happy to have you, man.
Yeah,
Keep
thanks for having
training,
me.
keep progressing,
Sounds good.
keep spreading your knowledge because you're seriously a very good striker, bro.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, just keep working on making your game well-rounded and spread because we have so many new guys coming all the time, and you know G already, Perry. I mean, you've been here 3 years, right?
You're a
Something
great
like
part
that.
of the team.
A
All
little bit
around.
less than that, but yeah.
You know, so you are pretty much the guys that we'll be looking up to, you know, the newcomers coming in and getting to know you and getting to spar with you and work with you. And
Yeah.
now you can spread what you learn and you can build your style and learn from the new guys and older guys. And
Yeah.
you got any sponsors or you want to plug your social media or anything?
No, I mean I don't really care about my social. I'll plug Doc Shandon though. Like he's been like
Great,
someone
he's
that's been
great,
working with
great,
me for
good man.
psychologist.
yeah, and he's
awesome.
always been supporting me, and
Yeah.
like he doesn't really ask for much in return. So
Yeah,
I
he
always try to
doesn't.
give him like as much of a push as I can.
Definitely
and,
shout out to Dr.
He's
Shandon.
got
Yeah.
books. He's got books written.
Yeah, he's got
I have a
books
bunch of
and-
his books.
He's
and,
here.
and he's another one too, where it's like
And he's a persistent guy too.
he
'cause-
works hard.
yeah.
He's here daily.
That's how he got here. Because I remember my office used to be here.
Yeah,
Kept
Yeah.
sending messages.
Because
Visiting.
I would get like so many calls from people that I still get, like they want to be like psychologists and,
Mhm.
and they think they can change the game and help Holly and John and everyone to win fights, you know.
yeah,
And he started coming in, and I'm like, Doc, I don't know, man. It's like we don't have like a position available for that or something like that. But
yeah.
kind of gave him a green light. I said, you know, if you think, you know, you can weasel yourself in and
Well,
work with these guys and you can help him.
And he's
Go
not
ahead.
pushy. He's not pushy
He's
at
not
all.
pushy.
He just sits there and everyone knows who he is
Observes.
at this point. And
Observes.
you go talk to him and he's
Yeah,
willing
He
to
doesn't
talk to you.
force. He pretty much kind of like he's got good energy, so he attracts people. People will like
yeah,
because he's so calm. And
Yeah.
you know, some people have decent, good aura. You know that you just want to like, hey, spill your beans on.
So
Yeah.
definitely
Dog
shout
man
out to him.
yeah.
If any of the other fighters are listening,
Well,
make
and
sure
just
you
Brogan
reach out
and,
to him.
and Harry as well. You know, those two guys like they really put so much effort in, and like I always try to give Harry and Brogan as much love as I can as well, because you
They
know
built you.
it means a lot when you feel like when I had this fight, like I felt like they were all there for me, and like I just felt so much of it, and then like you know those things matter, like when you get poked in the eye and you can't see, but you look over and like your people are there, and like it's good that, like, and I just think that it's hard to like repay those people, so I always just try to speak highly of them, you know.
Very well.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Clay, and we'll see you around. And thanks for being with us today. And
Thanks
we'll
for
have you on again down
Thanks
the
for
road.
incredible MMA. and
Yeah, no
making
worries.
this thing
Thank you
work.
guys.
Definitely.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for helping
Thank
that thing work out and
All right.
doing
All
your
right.
part.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
If you need anything.
All right,
man.
bye.
Through these doors walk the greatest fighters in the world.